Hey guys, it's spring, which means it's the perfect time to start fixing up that ugly lawn. And like most homeowners, you likely have 3 issues that you're battling this spring. Number 1, although temperatures have started to warm up, your grass hasn't quite recovered. You might have brown spots, thin spots, or areas that just aren't quite that green yet. Number 2, although your grass has started to wake up, somehow the weeds got a head start. Your grass might already be overrun with broadleaf weeds like dandelion, crabgrass, clover, you name it. And number 3, despite already having some weeds that are growing in the yard, you want to be able to control and prevent more weeds from coming into your yard before the summer season starts. So stick around, because today I'm going to show you a super simple process using budget-friendly items that you can get at your local big box store to thicken and green up your lawn, kill the existing weeds that are in your lawn, and help control and prevent those nasty weeds like crabgrass and clover from infiltrating your yard. So let's go. So for this project, we're doing it in the spring because temperatures are mild, which is great for growing grass, but it's also really good for growing weeds. And while your grass is maybe a little bit thin from the winter and starting to establish roots, there is high weed pressure. And so weeds are coming in and they're starting to establish themselves quick. So we want to cut that off and prevent future ones from coming in. And number 2, your lawn needs to be fed. And while there are a number of ways to fertilize your lawn, I'm going to show you one of the most efficient ways to both feed your lawn and apply a pre-emergent herbicide to help take care of some of those nasty weeds like crabgrass and spurs that are going to want to come in and try and infiltrate your yard. I'm going to be using items that you can find at your big box store like Lowe's or Home Depot. And I'll also include links in the description below if you just want to buy it off a site like Amazon and have it delivered right to your door. So we're going to do this simple project with only 2 products, a hand spreader, and then some PPE, personal protective equipment like gloves and safety goggles. All right, let's get started with step 1. Step 1 of this project is the weed and feed function of the project. So we are going to use a product that both fertilizes and feeds the lawn, but also applies a pre-emergent to stop weeds from coming in. So that pre-emergent won't kill the existing weeds in your yard, but this will provide a base layer foundation to stop them from coming in over the next couple months. My favorite is a Scott's Turf Builder with Halt's Crabgrass Preventer. It comes with lawn food to provide that fertilizer, but what I'm really looking for is that crabgrass preventer because that's what I want to keep out. Ideally, you want to do this as early in the spring as you possibly can. That being said, it's better late than never. Doing nothing just allows even more crabgrass, even more clover to invade your lawn. So the only caveat is on the instructions, it says to not apply this when temperatures are over 80 degrees. But if you're between that 50 to 80 degree range, it's a perfect time to go apply this. Now, a couple other things to consider if you're going to use the Scott's Turf Builder with Halt's Crabgrass Preventer is because it is a pre-emergent, there are certain things that you're not going to want to do after you put this down. Number 1, you're not going to want to aerate, scarify, or dethatch your lawn. If you haven't done that already and that's something that you need to do because you have compacted soil, it's best to do that first before you start this project. And number 2, if you're planning to overseed this spring, then do not put a pre-emergent down. A pre-emergent will prevent that new grass seed from growing. And then last, when we put this product down, we are going to want to make sure to water it in within 1 to 2 days. So for me, I have rain in the forecast, so I'm going to put it down, let it rain, and then I'm going to do part 2 of this process within a day of it being wet. And lastly, let's talk really quickly about the application rate. This is where the hand spreader comes in. You could use a push spreader. I find to have a little bit more control using a hand spreader. For the application rate, it does say to apply 2.67 pounds of product per 1,000 square feet. So you're gonna need to know the square footage of your lawn. There are some super simple ways to do that. You can get online on measuremylawn.com and just put in your address and literally measure your yard to get your square footage. But make sure you know that measurement so you're not applying too little or too much product. For me, my backyard is just under 2,000 square feet, and these little hand spreaders hold about 5 pounds of product. So I'm going to fill it up nearly to the brim and go and apply it. So when you're applying this product, you're going to want to go around the perimeter first to make sure you're not getting too much on your cement or your hardscaping. And then just pick a direction, go back and forth. And if you have any left over, come back and go a perpendicular direction on the way back. I usually set my setter spreading pretty low, but I like to do that just so I get nice, even coverage and don't run out of the product too fast. So let's go get it done. Really quick, one thing that might happen whether you're using a hand spreader or a push spreader, you might get some of these big chunks of product that have kind of hardened from sitting and settling in that big box store. It's another good reason to wear gloves, is if you do encounter that, just get in here and break it up so it doesn't clog your spreader, and then you're good to go. One thing to remember whenever you're applying product, whether that be fertilizer or a weed preventer, is whenever you're doing a granular application, no matter how careful you are, you're gonna get some granules that get on your cement. So if you've got pets and kids, and also you just don't wanna waste any of the product that you just put down, get a blower and blow it back into the grass just to be safe. Now that we've applied the pre-emergent and the lawn food in the grass, it's time to water it in. So if you want to do this whole process all in one day, you can go ahead and water it in right away. Water it in for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then you're going to want to wait about 45 minutes to an hour before we move to the next step. Or if nature's on your side like me, where I've got rain coming tonight, I'm going to let the rain water it in, and then I'm going to come back out tomorrow to do the next step. And what's great about the process that we've done so far is to get the best results with this spot treatment weed killer, you actually want the grass to have been watered within the last 24 hours. So our grass is primed and ready to be treated with this weed killer. Which brings us to this next product. I have two up here right now. These are actually the exact same thing. If you go to a big box store like Lowe's or Home Depot, you're gonna find the Weed Be Gone brand. But if you go on Amazon and order it from there, it's the WeedClear brand. But they literally have the exact same ingredients in them. So I'm not sure why they're called two different things. Whoa, yeah. But I have noticed when I try to find the Weed Be Gone online, it comes up as the WeedClear. But they're both by Ortho, just two different brand names. Now let's talk about how to apply this weed killer. It kills over 200 different weeds, including broadleaf weeds like dandelions, as well as crabgrass and clover. And for most homeowners, this product will kill basically every weed that you would have come up in your yard. The other thing I like is not everything's got to be so hard. It doesn't require any other specialized tools like a pump sprayer, a backpack sprayer, or combining multiple liquids and chemicals. It comes completely ready to use. You just put in the wand sprayer, and then you can go out on your lawn and start spraying your weeds right away. It's also super simple to store. You simply fold up the wand, turn it to off, and then store it somewhere safe in your garage. And finally, this weed killer does not harm your existing grass. It's made specifically to kill weeds down to the root without harming your grass. So while I wouldn't go out there and spray your grass willy-nilly, only target the weed, you don't have to worry that if you miss and get it on your grass that it's gonna damage your turf. So let's get out there and start spraying. All right, it's been a few days. Let's take a look at some of these weeds and see how they're doing. You can see this one is turning pretty yellow. It's starting to die. Here's one of the broadleafs. Is dead. Yeah, these dandelions stood no chance. Here's one that I did spray though, and it's got a little bit of yellow on a couple of the blades, but some of these crabgrass types might take a couple of applications to get them to die. All right guys, that's it. That's how you fix an ugly lawn using budget-friendly items in a super simple process. So if you like that video, be sure to like, subscribe, and follow our channel so you'll be notified every time we put out content like this. And if you're dealing with a ton of weeds in your yard, then watch this video right here where we go over an extremely effective way to clear out tons of weeds in your lawn without hurting your grass. And we'll see you over there.